Alright, let's see how that works. What is up? Oh man, that coder's overloaded. Alright, let's see if we can make do with this here. Giving it a shot, see how the updated PC is gonna stream with here. Not too well, it doesn't look like. Yeah, it's struggling. Alright, we'll get into it here. Let me see. So where I left off the other day, I finished building this bad boy. I built this OBS switcher. The 3 big buttons can kind of control the multiple scenes that I have, and then sub buttons for scenes and commands and stuff like that, and then I've got mute switches and a record and a stream button. So this is the one I built for me and my wife then when we stream, hence why we have, if you can read it, Harley, Main, and Nate, and then if you could read all the other ones, there's scenes and commands and stuff like that. So I actually added labels, I drew them on there myself, and then kind of drew on the carbon Harley, which is actually embedded in there as well. So it's actually pretty cool. And then I can control the different scenes that I want with it. So that's what I built for me. Since then, I've kind of updated the code for the little microcontroller that's in here to get the LEDs that are in these buttons and these two working, so that these buttons will be toggle buttons and these will be lit when the scenes are working, in theory. As you can see in the bottom of it, it's a mess of wires and cables and a lot of fun in there that I did last time, so we'll see how it goes this time. I'm going to try tweaking these settings a little bit here because this stream is struggling. Let me see here. Let's drop this down to... Let's try that and see if that does anything. Let's go there. Let's see if that helps. Doesn't help I'm running multiple webcams either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the bench and kind of play it. Oh, I'm using, it's kind of a derivative of a microcontroller. Or a derivative of an Arduino. It's called a Teensy. It's a little bit smaller than an Arduino Nano. It's on this breadboard, and I've got another one sitting over here. I'll show you. Let me grab it. This will give you a better idea. So this is the Teensy right here, this little board. They're a lot cheaper than the Arduinos. This one is a Teensy LC. It's about 12 bucks. The one I have in this one is a Teensy 3.2, which is like 25 bucks or something like that. And then pretty much right now they're emulating keyboards. So this is straight keyboard hotkeys is what I'm using to control this. And then this one, the reason it's kind of on a board right now is because I'm prototyping it so that it won't be keyboard hotkeys. It'll actually be hard coded into OBS as a plugin so that it won't interfere with any other programs. It'll be kind of direct. So that's what I'm using for this. That's kind of another prototype that I'm working on. So this one has 17 buttons connected to it right now. It's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scenes, 3 commands, 2 mute buttons, and a record and a stream button. And then the case is all made out of, it's 3D printed. I 3D printed an ABS plastic, and then kind of in different sections, and then kind of acetone welded it together, and then kind of sanded it down to kind of give this nice little graphite type texture. So it's got a nice smooth texture. And then the cord itself, I adapted a USB cord, a USB micro cord to a Ethernet cord essentially, so that I could run my 20 foot Ethernet cord across my living room to the TVs where my computer is. Oop. There's it connecting again. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna actually update the code in this box to some different code that I wrote, so that I can get and start working on the LED lights in these 5 buttons. Fortunately, one of these big buttons does not have an LED in it because the manufacturer didn't give me one because they're a bunch of jerks. But I know it kind of works, and I can kind of show you here. I just gotta, hence why I have this prototyping one. How much time did I spend to create this? To design the box took, I don't know, a better part of over 2 weeks. I was kind of doing it on and off. And then a couple weeks ago I did the stream of actually putting all the buttons and stuff in, which took about 6 hours or so to do the wiring and getting all the buttons and assembling the box itself. I didn't write the code that's currently in on the Teensy now. I wrote the code that's on this other prototyping one. The guy that actually wrote the code for this is another streamer called Notes and Volts. Nope, this one's mine. So he wrote some awesome code for this one, and you can, should be in my VOD still, if you're interested in watching all 6 hours of me soldering. All right. I'm just gonna kind of wire it. What's up, Sully? How you doing, man? If I remember which button, I think it was this one. So I'm just gonna use some alligator clamps to kind of show you what I'm gonna be working on this first little bit. And where'd my USB cord go? Out of USB ports. Need to add another USB hub to my desktop. So I'm just gonna plug in this other one, which is, it's basically the same or similar code running on these 2 microcontrollers, except this code I wrote, this code I borrowed from the other guy. But his was actually really good to kind of get me started since I was kind of new at the coding part of it. Alright, so the theory is there's just 8 buttons. There's just 8 buttons on this one. This is the one I'm actually going to be tearing apart today. So if I push one of the buttons, this is going to simulate the scene. So if I go to like scene 1 or scene 2, the tally light will light up, right? And then if I go to scene 3, see, this one's going to be a toggle. So this is kind of representing my mute or my stream toggle, so that I know if it's lit up, it's currently streaming, or it's currently recording, so I can turn it on and off. Yeah, it's a little awkward because I'm a little cramped on my desktop. So that's how bright those lights will be. It's actually pretty cool. And then these other 2 LEDs over here is what I'm going to swap into be these 3, and then the toggle one will be for the stream and record. And eventually mute switches, but we're not there yet. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this over to the other bench over here, and actually do a little bit of soldering, and then kind of wiring up some LEDs over there. Boop. Throw this over here. Grab my prototyping board. Yeah, so the Teensies are cheaper than the Arduinos a little bit, but they're a little bit more powerful because they're meant to do keyboard specific type stuff. That's why I went with this. I do have a couple Arduinos and Raspberry Pi that I'll be doing future projects with. So I got an Arduino Mega, I've got a regular Arduino, or no, that's a Raspberry Pi, and then an Arduino Uno. But those will be for future projects. Alright. Turn this because I can't see what I'm looking at. Actually, I'm going to move my soldering box real quick, just so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna start by just kind of unplugging some stuff. Get in here. Plug that USB cord. Pull out my little breadboard. So the breadboard, it actually has double stick tape on it, which is why it was stuck in there. You can see the mess of wires. It's got 17 leads for all the different buttons, and then I think I ran 5 common grounds throughout this box. So it's kind of a mess, but luckily I labeled all my cables or wires. So I actually got to get in there and actually change which buttons are plugged into what, depending on my new code. So, I think the easiest thing is I'm just having to unplug all this and then plug it back in later, unfortunately. Because I got to get in here, solder leads onto these 3, and then there's 2 buttons way down in there that I gotta solder to. I think that's gonna be easier. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to re-plug in a bunch of these anyways. Oh well, I turn it back now. So there's the teensy little baby thing. It's literally, I mean, it's the size of my fingertip of my thumb, so it's tiny. Set that over there for now. Alright, so I'm gonna pull out this Ethernet to USB thing. If I can get in there. Oh, there we go. Nope. Nope, I clicked the wrong side. There we go. So this is a little custom cable I had to make up. It's a USB micro to a Ethernet. So there's 8 wires in an Ethernet cord, and there's only 4 or 5 in a USB. So it was actually a pretty cord to make up. And it actually lets me use this nice flush mount Ethernet. And it's a pain in the butt to use like 25-foot USB cables. Which I have a bunch of those. Alright. So you can see the spaghetti that I'm dealing with here. Just gonna pull some of these back here. Clean up what I'm looking at. So I just updated this computer that I'm streaming on to Windows. The last time I streamed down here, I'm in my garage, by the way. Last time I streamed down here, I was on, it was Mac, and it held up pretty well. It's just the webcams were freezing, so I updated it to Windows and did a dual boot in the hopes that that would keep the webcams from freezing. So, if you guys see any issues, please let me know. Alright, so these 3 buttons, these big ones, are the big ones, the nice big arcade buttons with the very satisfying click, if you can hear that. And then these 2 in the top middle are my stream and my record buttons. It's got some gunk on it. I know it's kind of tricky to see. Let's see if I can shine a light in there. Help a little bit, but down in here, the back of these tiny little buttons, there's 4 leads that come out. There's 2 for the button and then 2 for the LEDs. These are obviously a lot easier to see because they're nice big prongs. Those are tiny little wires, so it's going to be a little tricky to get a soldering iron down in there. But I'm going to give it my best shot. Alright, let's pull a little station back up here so I can plug in my soldering iron. Switch this over here. Need another one of these tables. Get my soldering iron warmed up. Alright, so what I need is 2 wires from each of those and 2 for each of these. Let's see, what color wire should I use? Not a lot of blue in there, so I use blue. Let's see, what do I have on there? I've got yellow and white, so let's do blue and green. I'll do blue is positive for the LEDs and green is negative, I think. Alright. So, since I know it's just going straight to the breadboard, I'm just going to make it the same length as these bad boys. As close to it as I can. There we go. What's up, Cody? How you doing, man? Thank you for that host, buddy. Do the same for this one. I'm just going to keep the same color pattern for these LEDs, I think. Then I'll add like some tape or something to distinguish these. How you doing, Cody? Good to see you again. Back for some more soldering, I'm sure. And I always trim these down to size, but I know that's kind of plenty of length. Alright. Let's set these off over here for now. Alright, these are going to be the same thing. What was up with that notification? I'm doing good, man. Got a long weekend. I've got, took the weekend off from work because I haven't taken a lot of time off. So, I've got tomorrow off as well. Just been hanging out, playing some video games. I was going to stream this yesterday, but I spent mostly yesterday actually getting my PC, well, this computer, which was a Mac the last time you saw it, is now a PC, or dual boot. I spent a lot of the time yesterday getting this up and running, getting my bot set up, and all the notifications, and all the scenes for OBS, so but then I'm good. I'm gonna do another pair of this. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of, this is the same box that I built on the last stream, that's been working great. You've been streaming the past week, feel great about streaming? Nice. So this is the same box I built, what, 2 weeks ago? I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever I did that. It's been working great, I love it. But I actually spent some time the other day and updated the code to my own code versus the code that I had borrowed. So that I can get the LEDs that are in these buttons working. So these will actually be lit up if I push this button, and these will be toggled, so if I toggle the stream on, it'll be lit up. So I'm pretty much, I should have done this when I did the initial soldering to solder on the leads for all these LEDs, but I'm an idiot and didn't think of that, so I have to come back and do it now. So that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm going to start out with, is this, and then, excuse me, didn't want to burp into the mic, but I did. You're halfway for Twitch affiliate. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I know we weren't expecting to get Twitch affiliated. I mean, Twitch streaming for Harley and I, my wife, it's just kind of a hobby, a fun thing that we can do, because, you know, either way we're going to be sitting on the couch playing video games, so if we can make some friends doing it, it's awesome. So like Twitch partnered, you know, that'd be an awesome goal to reach, but it's not like, we both have our day jobs, so it's like we love our jobs, so getting Twitch affiliated was kind of a nice surprise for us. Alright, let's just get to it. I'm going to start with these ones in the back because they're going to be a pain in the butt to reach. Don't remember what gauge wire I was using. That's awesome, you've been streaming. I know last time we talked, well, like 2 weeks ago, when you first popped in, you were getting your bot set up. I will. She is, I think she's upstairs doing something. I don't know what she's doing. She was relaxing on the couch when I came down here. Sorry, I'm just turning this fan because it's humid as crap down here. Because I live in Texas, and it was stormed last night, and it's been like this where it's wanted to storm all week, and it finally did, so the humidity is ridiculous right now. Just kind of stripping some wires, getting them prepped. So what have you been streaming, Cody? Anything exciting? Your bot is completely finished? Nice. I wish I should really spend more time with my main bot on my other computer. Especially now, Revlobot, which I use for the currency and the rewards and stuff like that I do on stream, it's closing and they're shutting it down. So I really need to figure out if Inkbot is the way to go for all that or somebody else. So if anybody has any recommendations, I'm all ears. You have a theme for your Twitch channel? What you got? Sorry, I know I'm kind of off screen, but I'm stripping wires. It's not the most fascinating of things. Call of Duty in 7 days. Nice. Which are you on? Advanced Warfare or Warfighter? What's Advanced Warfare? Is that the one you're playing, or are you just playing all of them? You help me with Inkbot. Sweet. Alright, there's all those stripped. Alright. So I know it's really tricky to see for you guys, but where's my pointing stick? There we go. So I had a pencil last time I was doing this. So in here, tiny little silver leads on either side. That's what I have to solder in. And then obviously these big prongs on each side of these. And I don't remember which one of these doesn't have an LED. I think it's... Yep, it's that one. I think no LED in there, because the manufacturers are jerks. But these, see, have a nice green LED in them. And I have LEDs, I just don't know what I need to get them hooked up. Infinite Warfare, nice. Yeah, that's what I don't have, is this green bit to kind of get it to plug in there. So I may have to go online and buy one of those. What's up, Melly? How you doing? I'm just kind of updating my box because I have LEDs and, well, 2 of these buttons, so I can get the lights in these to light up if they're active, and then the lights in the meat and the stream going. So that's what I'm kind of updating first, and then I'm going to be working on tearing this prototype one that has 8 buttons. I'm going to tear this one apart, do the 3D modeling for a new box for it, and actually do a giveaway of this one at some point. So that's what I'm working on today. Just heat it up. Let's see. Yep, that's heated. It's gambling time. It's gambling theme. Nice. Alright. These prongs have kind of got bent a little bit. Get a little squished in there. Alright. Set these aside for right now. It's gonna be a little tight in here. Throw some solder on this tip here. I do have a fan kind of behind me, so I'm not too worried today about breathing in all these fumes. Yeah, if you order the buttons, you can send them. I got a PO box you can send them to that I use for work, and then you can just have them. If you want like the same exact thing that I did, that's gonna make it easy. But like if you don't need, obviously if you don't need the big ass buttons that I put in here, then that's gonna save a price, because these suckers are the expensive ones, these 3 big ones, but they have the most satisfying click. So I'm just kind of throwing some solder on these wires to get them prepped here. It's called tinning the tips. This is where it gets fun. Soldering iron. Try not burn myself today. It's actually successful at that. So I bought this headset. It's a Logitech G30. I bought it the other day. I like the design, but it's Wi-Fi based. In today's society, that is not a good thing, because everything runs off Wi-Fi, so it keeps disconnecting. You guys might have just heard that. Did you just hear me stop talking randomly? It's because I hear it disconnect. That is not very stable on there. All right, Cody. Yeah, I'll be on for a little bit. I don't know how long I'll be on today. I'm just kinda doing my thing. Just blew that right into my face. All right, that one's on there. This other one's gonna be a little tricky. So I'm basically soldering a straight wire to a straight tiny little wire. This is not fun. Probably not doing this like the best way possible, but I apologize if I'm blowing right in the mic too, guys. That's my bad. There we go. Alright. That'll work, because I mean this thing's not going off-roading or anything. It's not rocket science. I could always come back in with like a... Actually, that's what I will do. I'll throw some heat shrink on it before I stick it to the board. Harley work? Nope, Harley's upstairs. She's just hanging out. I think she was taking a nap, because that's what girls do on the weekends. But you know what? She's got a weekend off, so she can do what she wants. Yeah, I'll throw some heat shrink down and shrink it around that lead. That'll help sturdy it up. Yeah, she's napping under her Mercy hoodie. So the trick with this is, 1, not to burn yourself, 2, not to burn any of this, and 3, not to melt all the work you just did. Your work weekends. Boo. Don't you have like 16 jobs too? Doesn't help that I'm dealing with the spaghetti of wire in here either. Fucker, that damn hurt. Not all girls get to nap on the weekends. I'm sure you get some weekends to nap. I'm sure it's not all work. Alright, so those are good. And then, let's see. These bad boys. It's a comfy hoodie. Should have bought one for myself. So I bought Harley for her birthday. It's a Overwatch theme. It's a Mercy hoodie. It's pretty much like a plush blanket that was sewn into a hoodie shape. It's probably the most comfortable thing ever. Alright, so I'm going to do green, blue. Green on the left, blue on the right, I think. You get every other Saturday off. Nice. See? It's not all work. So I'm going to do this. Prep these wires so I don't burn myself. Just add a little hook to these. have on there. There we go. Now for these, like I could have added the little, what you call the terminal cap things, but I like soldering, so I'm just gonna keep soldering them on there. So how often do you get to melt some metal for fun? So what are you up to today, Millie? Playing some more Overwatch? What is this playlist? Let's go to this one. You like to start fire for fun. You work later today? Oh. Boo. Doing laundry? Yep, that's what we were doing earlier. Mount laundry. So we had a ton of it. How you doing, Bucky? I just realized this was missing. My resolution kept jumping around on my... There we go. Sorry about that. You like to start fires. Yeah, the resolution on my computer kept bouncing around from 720 to 1080, so it lost a bunch of things. Alright, here's one. Day off today and Monday for Memorial. Nice. Yeah, I took the whole weekend off. I took Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Well, not Friday. I had Friday off. So did Harley. So it's, or she had Monday off. So she always has a weekend off. We're just like, even if we don't do anything, like, just have the weekend off, you know? Treat yourself. So what I'm doing today, Bucky's, I'm kind of modifying the switcher that I made a couple weeks ago. So I wrote an updated version of the code for the little microcontroller. That actually includes the LEDs that'll be in here, and that's what I'm doing, is kind of soldering up the LED leads that for these big arcade buttons, and then the record and the mute or record and the stream buttons. So I actually be able to use those LEDs. Need a better spot for my soldering iron. You got any big plans for your time off, Bucky? Or are you just hanging out, relaxing, drinking beer, drinking wine? Whatever you drink, margaritas. I asked for time off, but I'm guaranteed 3 days off a month that are paid. And then Harley had like legit day off for vacation, or not for vacation, but for Memorial Day, because it's a bank holiday. So I guess hers is paid? I don't know. Oops, still a little solder. That should be good enough. Again, this thing's not going off-roading or anything, so it's... If it's held on there, it's held on there. You know. Yeah, and then I've actually got like another week, like towards the end of June, that I'm taking off for my sister's wedding. So that's why we're not really going anywhere right now, because it's like, we could spend money now, but we're gonna spend a lot of money to leave for a week. Gotta get dog sitters, gotta get rental car, gotta get flights. Now we're talking we might go meet up with my college roommate for a couple of days. Spend some time at the beach. We might do that. So just relaxing. You ran a 10K. Jesus Christ. Why? For fun? Or are we being like chased with a dude with a knife or something? That's the only time I run 10K is when somebody's chasing me. There we go. Cool. So even though this one doesn't have an LED currently in it, 3 days paid off, top of normal days. Yep. Yeah, my job treats me very well. So even though this one doesn't have an LED in it, I went ahead and wired it up anyways, and I'll just have to order one of those LEDs. The meat market ran a 10K. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Alright, so let's do... Actually, I'm going to plug in my old soldering iron so I can put some heat shrink on some of these. If I remember where I put it. There it is. That's what I don't think I could even make 10K walking, let alone running. So yeah, this is my old solder iron, which is kind of like disgusting because I use it to pretty much melt heat shrink because I don't have a heat gun, and melt plastic and whatever else I need to. And this is heat shrink. Pretty much you feed this over the wire and then you melt it down and kind of seals it nicely. That's good insulation to it. That should be good. So it'll add some strength to these little solder joints that I just did. In theory. Nope, that was a little fun. Ow. Stabbed myself with these little wires in here. I'm with you, man. The only time I run 10K is when I'm getting chased. I could probably do it, but it's do I want to? Alright, some thicker one for those two. because the solder beat it up a little thicker on these two blue ones. I need to use some wider gauge heat shrink. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's enjoy the heat shrink. It doesn't take a lot of heat. Just kind of warm it up. And again, try not to burn myself. It is loaded with guns. We do have stand your ground laws. But no open carry for pistols. We have open carry for long rifles, aka AR-15s and shotguns and Winchesters and whatever else you want to carry, but not for a little pistol on your side. Alright, I think we're done soldering on this stuff over here. What was that? Oh, that was my microcontroller. Fell on the ground. There we go. Let's clean up some of this stuff so I can get back in here. It's playing an ad. Gotta love them ads though. Alright, stick that on the outside there. Alright, let's see. Oh, I forgot this little screen was up. Let me hide that one. Alright, so I just kind of got 3 of these buttons, 1, 2, and 3, just kind of alligator clipped to leader wires to the other teensy board that I'm using, kind of prototype. And then that's going to mess up cables. So what I'm gonna do, because I kind of got my LEDs run here already, I'm gonna pull out these LEDs. I just have a red, green, and yellow one for now. Pull those out. I'm gonna rerun these alligator clips to. This will all make sense once I start actually soldering these back together, but if I go to in and out, so in, I don't think there's a way that it needs to be, but we'll see in a second. See if I messed up. Aha! It works. You made mod on a channel you watch? Nice, man. Kudos. Yeah, I would. It's one of those things, like, I would invite you to be a mod on your channel, but we're at this point, we have as many mods as viewers, so when we get to that point, I'll invite more people, because there's a lot of usual people that I would love to have, you know, watch out for us. Alright. So that tells me my wiring works, at least on that button. just going to jump over to the next button. Put this back in. Just kind of testing to make sure my wires still work. Something's unplugged, I think. Yep, that one. I bet I know what I did. I think I put this LED back in backwards. That's what I did. Also doesn't help if I'm doing this on a metal table. It's probably the worst thing you can do. We have great gameplay. Thank you. There we go. There's that light. So I'm essentially toggling this light on and off with a switch. So the toggle feature is only going to be, it's not going to be enabled in these two or these three buttons. It's going to be enabled in these two. So that if I push the stream button, that little LED comes on. If I push the record button, it comes on. If I push it again, it turns off. So that way I know visually whether I'm streaming or recording. I don't have to look at OBS. Scratching on my buttons, man. Just grab this. Grab this rubber mat. I don't want to scratch this up too bad. Well, I don't want to scratch this up more than I have. Alright, so that shows me that I did something right. I need one of those plastic mats. Rubberized mats that I can put down. It's got the nice measurements. This one's kind of a neoprene rubbery. It's kind of funky. Are all the buttons gonna light up? No. It's gonna be the big three arcade buttons, at least for now. These three and then these two, the record and the stream. And then I think I'm gonna actually tear apart this box eventually and redo it so that there's gonna be LEDs for the mute ones, and then there might be LEDs for the other scene ones that I have. I really love these buttons and I'd love to do them for all of them, but that would make the board like this big. And as satisfying as these are to click, these are expensive, more expensive buttons than I can get 20 or 30 of these little ones. So these are really nice buttons. I might get more of these nice solid round ones. So I might do 2 more of those for my mute ones. Maybe red for the mute and then 2 green ones for the record and stream, or vice versa. Or maybe see if they have a blue one or something. So right now it'll just be these 3 and then these 2. And then in the future it'll be these 2 and then these. So. Alright. So I know these 3 will work. Let me jump and swap my alligator clamps to this one. So if I do, yep, let's try that. Plug USB cable back in. And again, I'm just kind of testing it on this board. Nope. Alright, I think I know what my problem is. These 2 just need to get swapped. Oop. There's a joy of this thing being 3D printed and just basic plastic is it can flump over and fall over and it'll be fine. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get him out. See? So that's how that one will work. If I push in the record or the stream button, these tiny little LEDs in there will light up. Cool. Alright, so that's the easy part, unfortunately. Now I need to add 5 little resistors to this breadboard. Something I could stick this to. That you have a 3D printer? I do have a 3D printer. That's actually what's sitting over here behind me. That's what this bad boy is right here. This is a DaVinci XYZ printing, or XYZ printing DaVinci 1.0. It prints in ABS plastic, which is like the most common of all the plastics. I've kind of modded it to use my own 3D printer filament instead of the spools that I have to buy from their company. Where are my resistors? Oh, this is the box of goodies. Resistors, carbon film resistors. Those are the ones I used. Got 2 different types, and I keep forgetting which one's which. I think it's this one. I think it's the 330 ohm, I think is what I used. Yeah, that's what I used. So yeah, I made this whole little box with the 3D printer. I've made, let's see what else is sitting right next to me. I made this for work. This is a little holder that holds my audio receiver, my wireless audio receiver. Will slot in there, and then that'll bolt onto like a camera or something. I got a GoPro mount that I made. So GoPro will slot right in there, and it's got, you can do a tripod or the traditional GoPro mount. I actually sell those on a website. So I've got to add 5 resistors to this little tiny board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got all the cool toys. I'm just a huge nerd that likes toys. Alright, so pretty much this little board is going to be filled. So most of the buttons that I have go on this side, so this one is the first one is the ground, and then these are all going to be my inputs. And I've got 17 of them, and there's 14 on a side, 15 on a side, and then there's more on the other side. So I got to fill this thing up, and then this extra space is just enough that I can add the 5 resistors for the LEDs. And it's kind of little. Should have held it up here. I'm sorry. Little tiny board. But since the resistors come with these extremely long leads on them, you can see that. It's kind of hard to see, but they come with like inch-long leads on each side. Why is this back up? There we go. So I'm actually going to clip these down a bit. Actually, let's see what I can do with these. Maybe I can solder these in line on one of these. Maybe that'll be the trick. If I solder these in line to a wire, then I don't actually have to put them on the board itself. I think I'm going to do that. I've never done this, so this could be a terrible idea, or it could be a great idea. As long as you believe anything's possible, right? Trying to remember how my wiring was set up. Let's see. Board to this, to the white, to this one. these two green here. Pulling my solder iron stuff back up here. So what I'm going to attempt to do, and probably fail miserably at, I know I had extra wires laying around here. What did I do with my extra wire? So I'm going to take a piece of wire, just whatever color, and I'm going to attempt to solder this tiny little resistor onto that. And then the other end, do an even tinier piece of wire, and then that will plug into this little breadboard. And then I'll throw like some heat shrink over this. I've seen people do it. I've never done it, so this could be a terrible idea. But you guys got my back, right? Grab a piece of scrap green. Nah, scrap blue will work. Actually, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to solder it to this, right? And then solder to that. So I'm going to clip this down to there. And should have started heating up solder iron. Should just leave this thing plugged in. That won't start any fires, right? Nah, it'll be alright. Make sure I do it the right way that I had it prototyped with, because I'm not the electronics major. I'm just a guy that likes to play with this stuff. Alright. So we'll go. The resistor's in the little helping hand here. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to solder it onto this wire, and then solder my scrap cable just a little bit, and then that's what'll go to the board. Cool. That's probably not heated up yet. Getting all professional, making the inside look good. That's the idea. And because I like this tiny little breadboard versus the one I'm prototyping with, it's a big old one, and I don't want to stick that in there. Because I have another one of those white ones that I could use, but like this thing would fill up the inside. Like, look at this. Like, it would fit in this one, but if I can get it to that size, like that is a quarter the size. So if I can get away with using just a little one, that's all I want to do. And in reality, I could have, this one has pins on it, but I could have soldered it straight to this board and not use the breadboard. But I like the breadboards because if I want to change something, it's a lot easier. Obviously, I can just unplug things. So as long as I don't fry the transistor, or resistor, not transistor. As long as I don't fry the resistor by soldering it, I should be alright. Actually, I'm gonna use a smaller solder. Okay. And again, I do have a fan behind me that's kind of blowing it away from me. I do need to get some new tips for my soldering iron that are sharper. This one kind of rounded off, and I mean, this was like a $4 gas station soldering iron that I had to buy. There you go. It's one side of the resistor. Yep. So there we go. So I'm basically doing an inline resistor. If you can see that. That little tiny thing. Yeah, it's as hard for you guys to see, but it's even harder for me to see, and I'm standing here, so. Actually, I'm just gonna do scrap green, I'm gonna keep my cables coloring the same. I lied. As much as I like the blue cable, I'm gonna use some green and keep it consistent. Future Nate will love it. Alright, so this one, I'm gonna use both my helping hands because this is kind of, it's really tricky. Melly did miss out on PC Overwatch yesterday. She was probably working. She probably plays at like 3 in the morning. Oh, this solder really does not like this resistor. Ah, just... that hurt. I hit the hot solder with my hand. So I'm an idiot. There's a little extra solder on this I need to get off. There. What are you up to today, Mike? Sub Sunday? Get a Subway sandwich and have Sub Sunday? There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do before I heat shrink over that is I'm going to test it out, make sure my resistor didn't fry or anything. So what I need is... which ones do I need? I'm trying to keep my prototype board like intact until I don't need it anymore. So let's do this. Green. What's the other end of that one? This white one. Since I don't need the resistor that's currently in my breadboard, I'm just going to jump that one for now. And it works. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very faint, but it works. Like that, so don't fry anything. I've burnt myself a ton on solder and soldering irons, so you get used to it. Alright, now we can heat shrink over that one. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swap this to over here and move my soldering stuff over here, so it's closer to the cord, closer to the plug, I should say. Just because I'm kind of jumping over myself. I'll adjust the camera if I need to. There we go. Just so my soldering iron cables aren't jumping over all my stuff that I'm working on. I'm one of those guys that I'll work and I'll make the hugest mess, and then I won't clean it up until I'm done, because it's a working mess. There you go. How's that? Is that still good? It's a little crooked, but that'll work. This is a trick I learned from my grandfather, was using cigar boxes to hold bits of hardware and electronics and nails and crap like that. Alright, so we need heat shrink for the resistor. Fit. Oh, perfect. My little nippers. So I'm gonna give it some extra length just so it covers my whole solder joints and all that. Let's go to like there. Cool, and then that'll hide that resistor perfectly. Again, like it's not a very high heat needed to do the heat shrink, so I don't have to wait very long. I've done it with a hairdryer before, but it takes a little longer because the hairdryers, unless they're like super nice ones, they don't heat up too quick. So just an old siren iron, which costs $10, whatever, $5, whatever I spent on this one. It's a lot quicker. And then I can use this one to melt, you know, 3D printed plastics and stuff like that. You can also use a lighter, the heat from like a lighter or a flame, for you arsonists out there. Or, you know, you could go out and buy a heat gun, but where's the fun in that? A paint stripper gun or whatever it's. Yep, and that's not coming off, so we're good. Alright, so that's one resistor down. Only 4 more. So I'm going to move my prototype stuff until I need it again. I'm just going to stick it back on my other desk, so it's out of my way. And get some more resistors. Like these legs are like needle size, like they're tiny to try and solder onto. And they don't accept the solder too well, which kind of sucks. Stick those there. These helping hands are great, but these are like the cheapest ones, so they're a piece of crap. Which way did I do that? I did orange. A little bit of solder. There we go. Again, this thing doesn't have to be military grade, which to some people isn't very good. Sounds like a storm outside. Nip off a little more green. tend to tip a little bit, aka throwing some solder on it. There we go. So I feel pretty confident about this one. Actually, no. I was gonna say I feel pretty confident I'm not gonna test it, but no, because I know if I don't test it, it's not gonna work. Because that's how my life works. Green to green, white to blue. Yep, it's storming outside. Don't know if you guys heard that. And button 3. Aha! It works. You guys see that? Green's a little easier to see. So it's not a very bright one because it's like right in the center of this raised button, but it's enough, I think. You get a faster processor for this computer. That's what it's telling me. How's the stream looking, everybody? Is it holding up pretty well? Or does it just look like standard def television? Alright, scoot that off to the side, get some more. This. Okay, that'll work. Maybe I'll do that with my next paycheck. Invest in a i7 or something for this computer. So heat shrink over that, and you'll never even know there's a resistor in there. Just gonna go back over this one since my soldering iron's a little hotter. There we go. And you'll never even know. Perfecto. We're getting somewhere. Alright. So there's resistors on those two. So again, there's only 2 LEDs out of these 3 buttons, but I'm going to go ahead and wire them up as if there were an LED in this one, since the manufacturer chipped me. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use, instead of clipping an extra wire, since these are plenty long, clip these all the same length and use that wire. Lucid Dreamer, thank you for that host. How are you doing? Appreciate that host. In the middle of, well, not building, but rebuilding, modifying a hotkey switcher for OBS. Kind of built it on stream a couple weeks ago. So far so good? Awesome. So I built this one a couple weeks ago. It's a 3 printed case in multiple parts that I then sealed up and sanded down. It's got some nice big buttons to control the main scenes because my wife and I do a dual stream. So we do, you know, her view, my view, kind of a quad split view, and then commands and other scenes, mute, and a stream record button. So did this a couple weeks ago, and now I'm kind of updating my code and my buttons to do the LEDs that are in these nice big arcade buttons and in here. Yeah, I've been using it the past couple weeks and it works It works great. It's awesome. I love it, and it's just kind of a work in progress type of deal. I wish I could show you it in process, but if you go to my VODs, there's actually the whole 6-hour stream of when I built this thing, so you can kind of scroll to the end and see how it works. And the past couple weeks I've been using this as my every stream, and it works awesome. So now I'm adding it so that I can get the nice LEDs that are in there working. Resistor. So you've been good? Did you just wrap up a stream, or are you just passing through with a host? And so I actually have, there's a prototype one that's sitting here with kind of the first 8 buttons that I had that I built. I'm going to tear this one apart once I finish this one today. I'm going to tear this apart, unsolder it, and actually remake this one into a nice little 3D printed enclosure and do a giveaway for this one. Since I have the parts, I'm going to do a giveaway. Hopefully another streamer will get it and they could put it to use. It's kind of a $20 version of a stream deck. You just scared you to zap yourself with all these wires. It's not too bad. I say that, but I've already burnt myself once on some hot solder, so. After creative graphic streams, need a nap. Nice. That's what my wife's doing. We'll be streaming later tonight, and she's up there napping right now. So I am all for the naps. That's awesome. I'm more of a dog guy, but I am an animal lover, so I appreciate that. I love it. That's the first cat follower I've had. Thank you for that follow as well. I appreciate it. So this is the part's a little intricate. I gotta do these really tiny, you can't even see them, resistors that are, you know, pencil lead thick. Get those soon. Absolutely. Thank you for that. GG, thank you for that host, buddy. How are you doing today? Your cat thinks he's a dog. Well, that's alright, one of my dogs thinks he's a cat, so it's just how life works. I've got a Shih Tzu and a Husky, and the Shih Tzu is more cat than dog. He naps all day. If he had a sunspot, he would lay in it all day. Actually, I'm going to clip this one down a little bit. GG, thank you for those bits, buddy. How are you doing, man? Did you and Sully play some Battlegrounds last night? Oh, and there's my truck alarm going off. Have I built my own PC? I've actually built... Yes. The short answer is yes. I built 5 or 6 Macintoshes, and 3 of those are now dual boot PCs. So yes. All kind of my own knowledge and what the internet could tell me of. Because by trade, I am a professional cameraman, so when I was in college, I was like, I need an editing computer, but I don't have $3-5 grand to spend on a high-end Mac Pro. That one moment when you accidentally close the window. 9th out of 50, nice. So, I don't know where you close your window out, but yes, I've built multiple computers before. I'm a professional cameraman, so I needed, when I was in college, a editing computer, and I was like, I don't have $5 grand as a college kid to build, you know, a Mac Pro or buy a Mac Pro, so I just built one for like $900 that was better than anything on the market. And then I've kind of just continued that because it's fun to build. I think it's fun building your own PC later this summer. Ooh, it's not that hard. It's really not. I just built my other streaming computer, which is upstairs that we use for our gaming computer. I just built that, and literally it's easy. You just plug the parts in and go. There's a lot of great YouTube videos. There's a lot of great websites that are out there that'll walk you through it. So it seems intimidating, but it's not that bad. But I wish you luck, and if you need any help, be sure to shout out to me and let me know. I'd love to check it. That's actually my nerdy hobby, is watching people build PCs on stream, because that's something that I can put on in the background and not necessarily watch, but just kind of enjoy. And as you can tell, I like to build with my hands. So just like the aspect of putting the motherboard in, or putting the graphics card, or just the little tiny screws, I love that. So when you go to do that, send me a message, let me know. I'll stop by and help you out. GG 9th out of 50, not bad, man. I haven't seen how what the ranking or matchmaking is for Battlegrounds is. I haven't seen that part of the game. Do you just jump in and whatever game you jump into is go, or is there actually rankings and stuff to it? So I'm primarily an Xbox gamer. I just finished building my second PC so that we can actually start playing PC games. We were playing some PC Overwatch off stream last night. GG is one of the followers that will play Xbox Overwatch with. So that's how I know him. Unfortunately, Revlobot is shutting down in a couple weeks. So if anybody knows of alternative to Revlobot for currency tracking, stuff like that, please let me know. Absolutely, Tag. I'm gonna call you Tag. Alright, we're getting there. 2 more of these little resistors to solder in. Hopefully the thunder I'm hearing outside won't knock out our power during the middle of this, because one, I'm in a garage that's got 3 lights in it that I'm working with and a hot soldering iron, so okay. So Tay, do you just do creative streams, or you play games as well? Out of curiosity. More importantly, what music do you listen to while you're doing your creative streams, if you do at all? I usually stick to the Twitch plays, or was it the Twitch FM playlists, just so my VOD won't get taken and muted. Oop, that one broke. What up, Wap? Wap, how you doing? I am good. How are you? I am kind of in the middle. Let me see. Do I have this as a quick thing? So here's what I'm building. I've already kind of built it a couple weeks ago on stream, but it's a hotkey switcher for OBS. So I stream with my wife, and so we each have our own capture and a camera, so we kind of have a quad split view, so we'll see both of our screens and us. And if you just want to see her view, or just my view, or just full cam of us, or starting soon, ending screen, BRB, certain commands, or recorder streaming, Xbox Overwatch. Oh man, you should add us then. And mute switches. So that's kind of what I built a couple weeks ago. I've been using it. It's awesome. I love it. So now I kind of modified the code to include the LEDs that are in these buttons. So that's kind of what I'm working on finishing up now. And then the next part I'm going to do is tear apart my lovely prototype version of that, so that I can then create a cleaner little version of this, so that I can do a giveaway to hopefully another streamer that would love to use it. If somebody else uses, it doesn't have to be OBS, it can be any computer program that uses hotkeys, such as I use it for Inkbot as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing as soon as I finish the soldering on this bad boy. Use Ultimate Twitch Bot. That's awesome. Oop, I spelled that one wrong. Alright, Carbon. There we go. There you go, Tay. Add us on Xbox. And maybe we'll play sometime. We'll be streaming. My wife and I will be streaming later today. This evening, actually. And we usually play 7 Days to Die for a couple hours, and then we'll play some Overwatch. Because Overwatch is fun. Actually, I don't know if we will do Overwatch today. Because we just got over like the 2,000 competitive rank so that we can get the bonus points, and since the season's ending, we might not try and risk that. It's in 90s and 2000s and today. Nice. You're a 90s kid. I am a 90s kid all the way. Born in 89, so. But yeah, WAP, that's what I'm working on today. So right now I'm just kind of finishing up doing some inline resistors for the LEDs, which aren't going as bad as I was expecting it to be. So I got one more resistor to go in. There it is. These suckers are tiny, like if you misplace them on your desk, you're screwed. I'm buffering? Yeah. I have a feeling the storm is doing that to me. And my encoder is overloading. Let's see what I can do. Let me jump over to my computer and see what I can do for that. Yeah, that's going to be an investment, is an i7 or something for this computer, I think. Got an i5 in it right now, but I think it needs the i7. Maybe I'll swap it out on my wife's computer and not tell her. You guys will keep the secret, right? She's probably watching right now. It's cursing me out upstairs. Is that a little bit better? Is that? I know it's having some issues because it is storming. This computer right now is on Wi-Fi, so that's probably not helping. But I think it's the encoder issue on my end. But thank you for letting me know that. So sometimes the solder cools in like a split second. Sometimes it takes a couple seconds. So I've been like breaking the solder off by accident. Clip the excess. There we go. Alright, and one more little green lead. Did I help with the buffering a little bit? Where did I display this? And one more bit of heat shrink. Oh, I already got one cut. We're good. Give me like a couple more minutes, you guys will be able to see what this is going to look like. these lights on. If I don't burn myself. There we go. Alright, there's all the resistors in. I think that's all the soldering too. Yeah, that's all the soldering I need. So let's get my soldering stuff out of the way. Put this over here on the floor for now, because I don't have it. I need another one of these tables. That's what I need. Need more work surfaces. Alright. Flip this on my side here. Alright. Let's do this. Gotta untangle my spaghetti here. That in. Alright, so this one. Trying to track down what I need here. This one. This one. Oops. Did I use in the right spot? I don't think I do. Oh, there we go. Boop. Much better? Cool. Awesome. So there we go. Now that's what those buttons are going to look like. Turn that off. There we go. Let me do this. Let me flick that light off. There we go. Now we can see it. So that's just kind of a toggle mode right now. So that'll be how these two up here will work. The record and the stream. So if I push these buttons, they'll toggle. These will actually switch depending on which one's active. So if you give me a second, I can actually do that. Let's see. This one's good. This one jumps to red. This one. Alright, let me do this. Let me unplug that and rerun these leads real quick. So the resistor pretty much is in line, and that stops the power flow going to the LED. It kind of limits it so I don't blow out the LED. So that's kind of the point of the resistor, to my knowledge. Somebody else can probably explain it better. And I'm not opposed to somebody explaining it better. Because I know what I know based off the internet, so. Alright. I need some more of these jumper cables. Where do my jumpers go? Much better. Awesome. That's good to hear. Throw some more of these cables out here. So pretty much I'm just kind of skipping over what I've done on this side. So I'm skipping these resistors that I put on the board already. I think I wired that up right. Probably didn't, but we'll find out in a second here. It's one of those, I should have made a visual diagram of what this was going to look like. But I didn't. I did it dumb. There we go. So that's the toggle one. Jump into my code real quick because I forget what I wired, hard coded these two. So this is all written in Arduino software. It's pretty easy to learn. There's a lot of stuff online that makes it really easy to know. Let's see. Scene main is LED 18. This one is Nate. This should be 19, yep. Harley's is 20. Yep. There. Cool. This one should be 18. Do I have more of these highlighted? Oops, I do. Pretty much I'm just kind of prototyping this wiring out before I actually go to put it on the other breadboard. Wait a minute. Oh, I need one more jumper wire. It's not connected. Oh, that's why it doesn't have an LED in it. That's why. I jumped to that one. Alright, I've got too much of spaghetti here. What's up, Cody? Welcome back. I've got too much of a spaghetti here. I need to take a step back here. Before I look like an idiot. Ha! That's the one I needed. Clips to this one. How goes it, Cody? I've made a mess of this breadboard. I'll have to clean this up in a minute here. Bear with me a second, guys. Plug this just so I don't fry anything. Alright. 80. This is the joy of prototyping. It all just kind of gets thrown on a board and then you just figure it out from there. So this should be 19. This one should be 20. Okay. There we go. I think we're back in business. Orange to white to that. So I'm just gonna rearranging some of these pins just so they're cleaner so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see. This blue one. Plug this USB back in. Why is this LED the only one lighting up? Make sure my really tired from bowling in a bowling tournament. How did you do? Did you get a perfect game? I expect nothing less. Alright, so button 3 should be lighting up this one. But it's not. Let's see. To yellow, to yellow. Button. What button serves? Button 3. Aha! There's the problem. There we go. There we go. Now we're in business. So, these buttons are going to be swapped to be these buttons. So as I push the corresponding button, it'll light up. That's going to be pretty sick. And then if I push any of the other buttons that don't have LEDs, it'll turn these off. Cool? I think that's awesome. I'm just a moron and was swapping the wrong pin. This is why I like the prototyping the breadboards, because they're so easy just to move in and out. So now I can clean up some of this stuff. Alright, so now this board and this board, they're essentially the same thing. But the way I had this one wired up and the way I have the one for this code, I gotta plug them in differently on this one. So I'm gonna disable this one and unplug it, and then work my way and plugging in all this mess of now like 28 wires I think I have in there. Actually, let's do this, and then I'll load the code up at the end, I think, because I gotta change the code out that's on this one. Some resistors go to the negative. Okay. Actually, let's do this. Where is my labels? There they are. So I've got these little wire label booklet that are little stickers. It's extremely handy for stuff like this. Actually, I'm not even gonna use that. We'll do it live. Let's unplug this for now. Now the mess of cables that is this is going to get swapped. Just like that. Bring this back up so I can see what I'm doing, so you guys can see. Almost a perfect bowl at 296. Jesus. Good job, man. It's awesome. I wish I could bowl like that. I went bowling with my company back in like January. I bowled like an 86, I think. It was god awful. So that's awesome that you can. I can Wii bowl. I can Wii bowl a perfect game, or I used to be able to. Alright, I'm gonna leave these connected just so I don't forget what they are. Alright. 1, 2. Just because I kind of know some of these numbers, I'm gonna have them written down next to me. 3. So essentially the numbering scheme I'm doing, so you guys know what I'm doing, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 through 17. Before I had it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was stupid the way I did it. Which is another reason why I'm redoing it. Alright. Alright, these two I can tuck out of the way right now because they're not active. There's no LED on them. Just tuck them down in there. I need to order one of those. Ah, crap, I forgot about this part. I should have made these a common ground. Crap, I didn't think about that. Alright, I got that. I can fix that. So, 1, 2, and 3. This looks so confusing. I promise it's not as confusing as it looks. Well, it probably is. Let's be real. But it works. That's the important thing. Does it work? There we go. Doesn't help the back of this has a sticky double-sided tape on it, and it's like all kinds of gunked up now. Alright, now we're starting over here. And just plug them in down in order. So all my labels that I did the last time I built this are obsolete now. Been bowling about 5 years, no one wants to bowl against you. Well, I don't want to bowl against you if you're going to get a perfect game. I'll be your bowling partner. I'll bring the team down. I'll be there to drink the beer and eat the nachos. How about that? So you can see, like, I'm using about half the inputs on this board. And it's a tiny, tiny board, so it's... But it's powerful, so that's what's awesome about this teensy. So hard to find a good game for 7 days? Oh, to find people to play with? You look at my reference sheet. Which I don't remember where I put it. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So the teensies got really nice. They come with these little like cheat sheet cards that show like what the inputs are, because it's hard to read on the board. So just to make sure I'm still doing the right thing. 12, 13, yep. I like 7 days a day, man. It really is the real life zombie Minecraft. I think Minecraft has some better mechanics in it that they're working on in 7 days. But they'll get there. 13, 14, 15, 16. Right? I feel like I'm missing a wire. Nope, that's an LED one. I only have 16 wires. 3 and 10 is 13, and 4 is 17. You hope you can get a good gaming PC for streaming. It's an investment, man. It's one of those you gotta decide if it's what you want to do. Oh, that's why it starts at 0 counting. That's every freaking time. Computers start at 0 when they count. They don't start at 1. You don't remember the command for the currency in this channel? It's graphite. It may not spit back anything, but I think it's graphite. You can still earn. And there's my headset disconnection again. It's mostly PC gamers for 7 days. Yeah. Yeah. If you do exclamation point graphite is your currency. All right. So there's 17. And now for my LEDs are going to be main is 18. So this one I'm gonna leave disconnected for now. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna leave that disconnected for now. 8 is 19. It's 20. Oh, that solder broke. Had to jump back in there. One little solder connection broke. Should have just left my. I need a like wall-mounted soldering iron. That would be awesome. Any woodworker streamers like want to help me out with that? This one's just like I bolted it to these little like serving trays, which helps contain some of the mess. Been in the 7 days of the server about 50 days. Not that at all, and you're on day 80. Nice. Yeah, so this one completely just disconnected. It's alright. Now we wait. Yeah, I just started playing. I've had 7 days for the PC for a while. I just started playing with another streamer on his Starvation modded server the other day. It's fun. Alpha 16 is supposed to have controller support, which is what I'm looking forward to. Which is why I still play on the Xbox. There you go. $571 graphite. Give out some points here for all you fine people hanging out with me. Been meaning to do that more often, but I didn't have the button connected. The quick button wasn't here because it's upside down and being disabled right now. Disassembled. I do not do words good, guys. Not a bot. Yep, that's the name of our bot. Everything on the channel is gnarly. That's why. I'm gonna make sure none of the rest of these need resoldering. Nope, those are good. Okay. Get this back out of my way. There we go. That was 19 and 20. Skip the mutes. Record is 22. Okay. Record is the left one. Come on. Go in there. You want the PC version for 7 days today? I think it's on sale right now. I could be wrong. Ah, why are these unplugging? Could be a mistake, but I thought it was on sale right now. And it goes on sale like every couple weeks, so it's not a bad deal if you're interested. Alright, do I have a black scrap wire I can use? I do. So what I need to do is from this common ground point, which is buried in here now, which I should have done first, I need to jump from that to this empty space so that I can add more grounds. You finally figure out how to get points with Inkbot? Yeah, Inkbot and I need to have a talk. We need to have a powwow. I really like Inkbot. It's quite powerful. Actually, I need almost dropped my wire strippers. I'm just making a little jumper wire for this ground. But essentially, this is going to give me, since all of these pins have to be connected to the power and the ground leads of some way. Screen is lagging on and off. Yep, that's on my end. Let me see what I can do here. If there's anything else I can do. See if that helps a little bit. Try refreshing. As I said, the storm and the computer probably are just fighting each other right now. Not the prettiest jumper, but it'll do. It'll do. Now, plugging all of these in to the ground. Like so. Oh, now I see a yellow wire unplugged. Where's your home, yellow wire? What? You are far away from home, little yellow wire. Oh, I just unplugged like 3 more wires. Is also the joy of the breadboards. Crap can get unplugged very quickly. Is it that stream still up? Nope, it's overloading. Holy crap. Why does this wire not want to go in there? There we go. Plug up the final grounds here. At some point I'm going to swap this breadboard out to one you actually have to solder on. Just so it maintains connection and I don't have to deal with plugging in and unplugging, but this will be like way down the road. I think I'm out of grounds. Crap. Yeah, I gotta make another jumper wire. So there is another ground pin on this board, but it's not soldered to anything right now. So I can't use it just yet. I have to do just a little bit of soldering to do that. So it's just the quicker, dirtier way of doing it. Alright, I think everything's plugged in correctly the way I should have it. USB cable. It's like live stream, but it's kind of better. Okay. Yeah, the storm is really screwing with my network. And my computer is hating me right now. So I'm doing what I can right at the moment. Alright guys, I think we're done building. I'm ready to load some code up into this. Yeah, let's take it over the other bench. Alright, desk. There we go. Hello everybody. Ugh. Just gonna crop a little bit of this off. There we go. Just so I don't take up too much of the screen. Hello everybody. Alright, so I've got this in front of me. Unfortunately, I'm going to load the code through my my other laptop, or through my laptop, not through my one that I'm streaming on, because that's where I have my code currently. But I'll go over the code on a later stream at some point. No worries, Cody. Code, no. Just compiling my code real quick. Let's see. And upload code. And I just erased my old code. Oh, hold on. Upload. Forgot to change the board type. So I'm using a different type of TNC in the prototyping one than I'm using in this box. Just so I have more inputs and outputs. Why are you telling me 7? Got a bug in the code already. Button 13 is not connected to something. Alright. Team social, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. Which is a blue wire. Alright, I'm just gonna cheat and comment that one out for now. You guys don't need to see me debug my code. What? It's like boiling hot in my garage right now. Third time's the charm. Loading the code. Still give me 7s. Why you give me 7s code? I got a bug in my code. Actually, I got a bug in my wiring, not in my code. Something's not grounding out, or something is grounding itself out. Let me see if I just pull that one. I think that does it. Pretty much it thinks one of the buttons is getting pressed. Yep, still thinks that. So I gotta track down which button it thinks it's getting pressed, and it's not the one I think it is. I know this is the exciting part of the stream, I know. Probably the code I added earlier. Nope, still thinks I'm typing 7 for some reason. So this one is a hotkey switcher, so these are all linked to number pads or Shift-Alt number pads. Let me see if I can open up my code over here. And I can actually show you what I'm doing. I just like coding on my laptop because I can actually carry my laptop with me. Make sure it's plugged into the right spot, first off. Aha! I think I found the problem. Let's go to... button. Let's go 21. So there's an LED embedded on this board. And I think that's the problem. Is it's lit, so therefore it thinks it's getting pressed. Problem. Yep, I think that fixed it. Let's see. Pull up a text document real quick. Aha! There we go. So I'm going to swap this over to my other computer so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Plug USBs. probably gonna clean this up after stream a lot, and because I'm using the Ethernet cords. It's open. Where is this one saved? Helps when I save things to my local computer, not to my Dropbox, right? There we go. Let's go. Where is mine? There we go. There we go. Now you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so here's my code. It's kind of probably hard to read. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I hate PCs. Sorry. What's the code for? The code is what gets sent to the box itself, to the microcontroller, and that's what programs it to do what it wants to do. And there's a husky puppy. And a Harley. She brought me a Pepsi. Come here, pup. Come here.
I don't like it.
Everybody say hi to Skylar. Everybody say hi to Harley.
What are you doing down here?
I'm tinkering. What are you doing up there?
I was napping.
How was that?
Nice.
Yep. Someone wants food. She did wake up, so it's probably about that time. You're probably right, Bucky. Hello, Skylar.
I can't quite see her little snout.
Yeah, Skylar. Oh, there she is. She's right there.
Maybe Bucky? I did make breakfast, so it's somebody else's turn.
So the lights work. Let's see. Let me throw this up here. Put my overlay on. And then I'd switch. Oh, that's why. So now it tells me which scene is active with the light.
Neat.
Yep. And then in theory, I don't want to push the button, but to test the do it over here. Boing. Yes, OBS, I know. You're like 1,000,000,000 degrees. I love you, but you're like 1,000,000,000 degrees.
In case anyone's wondering what marriage is
That's
like.
what marriage is like, guys.
You get 30 seconds and you're like, this is nice.
Yep, this is
Move
nice.
along.
Alright, so in the hotkey menu of OBS, I have start recording as, clear these off. So if I do record button,
Oh, why? There's a blue.
so my record button will be my alt number delete Hello. Thank you for the Pepsi. Let's go full desk. So now this is probably going to crash the stream. She's so cute and Harley. So we're on, obviously we're not on the Nate scene, we're on the desk one. Actually we're on the Harley one. So if I push the record button, in theory this button should light up if I did everything right. And it did. And I started recording on OBS. And I stopped recording and the light went off. I think I just unplugged it. Oh, there it is. There we go. So now I have LEDs in my switcher that work, minus this button, which kind of pisses me off, but these hotkeys are not set up the same thing. Wonder why these buttons aren't switching the right thing. I'm like, why is this? All right, table is that one. Nope, we'll be streaming tonight. Probably, what time is it now? It's 1 o'clock now. Yeah, we usually stream about 7-ish is when we start. So we'll be back on for sure. So my hotkeys are just a little screwed up with that. All right, so that's kind of what I was doing on this project, was just getting my LEDs working with the code and stuff. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave off on this project. I'm going to clean it up off stream because it's kind of the boring stuff of running this cabling and stuff, so that's gonna be a little boring for you guys to watch. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tear apart the prototype one and kind of prep it, maybe a little bit of modeling, some 3D modeling stuff, so that we can see what the magnifier, so that we can work on the giveaway one. So that's probably what you over here. Hey, Harry, she's gone. She went back upstairs, but I will let her know you said hi. For sure. Alright, so I'm going to plug this one and get it off my desk. And load up this. And actually, we're going to jump over to the other desk right now. Do a little bit of unsoldering to pull the buttons out so I can get measurements from that. There we go. And I'll hide that. Yeah, so we'll be playing 7 Days to Die on the Xbox tonight. And then we might play some Overwatch. We may try streaming Overwatch on the PC. I don't know how that's going to work yet, but we shall see. So pretty much I got to take these nice 8 buttons off of this little like tray thing that I made. I got to desolder all these little wire leads and just pop them out so that I can get the measurements of these buttons, so then I can throw them into the 3D modeling software so I can know how deep I need to make the thing, how much these buttons raise up and stuff like that. So that we can do a giveaway one of these hopefully soon. Probably this week I'll finish this thing up. I don't know how far I'm going to get today. You guys should have just told me. One day you will be perfect. One day. You guys should have told me just to leave my soldering iron plugged in. I should get like a butane one so I could just like light it and go. Make sure I have my calipers handy. Got those. So I'm basically gonna take this one apart so I can get measurements of the buttons, and then I have a model made up already, but I don't like the way it is now, so I'm gonna actually change and do some 3D modeling of that. And so like you can see each of these has little leads that I've already clipped low, but I gotta desolder them so I can get the buttons out. bit by something in the arm. It really hurts right now. Probably gonna die by infection of something. Make sure my soldering armor, I just got a little tweezer thing so I don't burn myself. So as I said, I will be doing, I'll be making this whole entire box of 8 buttons on stream. We'll see how far I get today, because I'm actually getting kind of hungry, so I'll probably just do the first little bit, show you what I'm going to be working with. I'm using a different ink bot right now, Bucky. So I only have like 4 commands loaded up on this version, because I'm on a different computer than what we normally stream on. And I haven't ported over all of my commands yet, including the Kiwi command. What the fuck, Fed? Kiwi playing? I don't know. We played with her last night. So if we ever do play Overwatch on PC, we will for sure make sure Kiwi's there. What's up, Fed? How you doing, man? You missed some soldering. Was this supposed to be on Saturday? I mean, it's a long weekend, so it's like a second Saturday, right? You don't have me on like text alerts or anything to know when I'm streaming? I was gonna stream yesterday and do all this yesterday, but I had to set up my PC, like all the bot commands and the overlays and stuff like that. Like all the software, like I literally downloaded Windows Friday night. So right now I'm just kind of disassembling this prototype 8 buttons of the switcher. I just spent the first little bit doing adding the LEDs to my current switcher, which everyone got to watch me suffer through that. So this one is going to be like, I'm going to redesign this one as a giveaway one to somebody. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the giveaway yet, but we'll get to that when we get there. And then all these little things, I can either hold on to them or use them as jumper wires or just toss them. It's always good to keep little scrap bits of wire around. What are you up to today, Fed? Other than napping? Carl's under bed. You missed the first. Yeah, you did. It's me playing with some LEDs. Kind of the same stuff you saw me do last time. It looks exactly the same except there's lights. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Alright, that'll be good for now. I'll clean these up later. You don't wake up for naps from no one. I need some pliers. So each of these little buttons has a little nut on the back. You gotta unscrew. It's actually really nice. Little basic push button. Phone's on silent. Oh. Man, it's one of those days. Everybody's napping. Harley was napping. Bucky napping. Fed napping. Was that Tay earlier said she was gonna take a nap? They were gonna take a nap. I assumed she. Did not mean to assume. I guessed. I should go take a nap. Eat some lunch, go take a nap. Forgot I only fingered tighten these on here. Man, it's not 5 p.m. here. It's 1:30 here. Raw. I think, if my computer clock is accurate. I don't think it is. What time is it? It's 3:30 here. I lied. My computer clock is not accurate at all. Alright, back over to the desk cam. There we go. Hello, everybody. Handy dandy notebook. And where'd my pencil go? Woke up just to eat. That's the best way to do it, man. Alright. So what I need here is the measurement here on how deep it's going to be under the panel that it's going to be mounted to. And then just kind of give me some space here. And then like obviously the hole width, which I already have that drilled out. So the hole is, let's call it 12 mil. So I'm doing some crude doodles. What's up, Gigi? So I'm doing some crude doodles here. Circle, 12 hole. And we'll just do the length in total from button top to bottom. It's 29. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of a god-awful drawing here, so all the graphics artists in the channel can cringe. There. So I know I have a Sharpie here, so you guys can see this a little better. Do you have a Sharpie? Naps are great. Alright, so there's my crude drawing of what this button will look like, minus, see the nut on it. 3:30. Yep, it's 3:30. Central Time, Texas time. So I know this is all, it's 29 long. Button sticks out 4 mil. I do everything in millimeters for the measurements, just because it's more accurate. I don't know. It's easier to calculate. That part is 3 mil. We all live in the same time zone, the best time zone. This part is 17 mil. And the rest is 5. There. So now I know my measurements. Yay! That's the easy part. So now we can hop over to the CPU. It's kind of all over the place right now. Let's see. Let me do not that one. Display. Extend this a little bit. There we go. Frame rate dropped it. Yeah. Yeah, it's telling me it's 9 frames a second. Jesus. Alright, let's do this. Let's turn off some of this. There we go, we got a couple frame rates. Yeah, this program's pretty intensive. How's that? Is that a little better? I'll wait for it to catch up. Actually, I'm gonna shut off this other monitor. I am running 3 monitors, so that's probably not helping either. So that should help out a little bit for you guys. But I will press on. So here's the box that I designed that I thought I was going to use. It's kind of got like this slope, so this will be the front of it and the back, so it slopes towards you much like a keyboard would slope, and it's at like a 15-degree angle or something. I like the idea of it, but I think it's a little too big and bulky for what I need it to, and I'm actually missing the USB cord that I'm going to be using. That's going to be like have a panel for the hole in the back, but that's what will go in the back, kind of like I did with the Ethernet port on mine. And then it's the cams. Yeah, I just hid the cams. I think that's what it is. It froze. Where's my OBS? Should be back now. I just hit all the cameras, so it should be alright. So I like this idea of the design, but I don't think I'm going to keep this one, because I am actually going to make the top piece as a separate piece so I can do a label. Is this still image broadcast? Nope. I'm actually going to switch over to, let's see. Let's go here. No, it's not still image broadcasting, I promise. This is what happens when your computer just shits the bed. Is that kind of catching up at all? Good. Alright, so this is the basic box design that I'm going to be working with. Is that better? Cool. I like the shape of it. All right. So I'm gonna redesign this box. Much better. Yeah, it's the cameras. They're just OBS hates it. So I'm actually gonna delete these from the scene and see if that actually helps. That might help a little bit. So I'm going to redesign this box itself over here. Let's see. So if we did some math, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a cylinder. The holes each are going to be 12 mil holes, so 6 mil radius at 29. I feel like Harley's up there giving points out. Just put it in the corner. I should do that. Why the hell is this box sloped like that? That's not right. Oh, I know what it is. Orthographic. That's what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, Battlegrounds. Let the man play. So if we got 8 buttons, I'm going to shoot 2 rows of 4. I like that idea. Let's go. How close do I want them? I think that's a little too close. So let's do... It'd be cool as fuck to have a Nate logo on it. I can do that. Or a carbon. I think I'm gonna call it like the carbon switcher or something. Let's go. Carbon switch, I don't know. So these will be 25 apart, right? Yep, so each of these are 25 apart. So if I go 25, another 25. Your research booth, no worries. I'll be here. Something like that, and then that'll leave me enough room to do some kind of a label on each side. Yeah, it's a good, like, straight minute between chat. I don't know what the hell. Let's see. It's really delayed. See if that helps with the delay. And I also stopped watching or monitoring Twitch, so you guys will let me know if the stream goes down, right? Oh, there we go. These damn hotkeys, man. This is why the next version isn't going to be a hotkey switcher. It's going to be actually a plug-in to OBS so that I can use the number pad freely. That's not what I want. So was that 71? Let's go to 81. So I'm just kind of roughing out a shape right now. Let's see what this one's for. Let's go this way. 6. Five on that side. on that side, something like that. Because I like this, the angle that this one's gonna have. I think that one might be like a 20-degree angle, and I'll do that when I get to that point. Just trying to hammer out what the top's gonna look like. So I need more here. So I can do... You didn't see if any of what we just said? It's alright. You'll see it in a second. I know the chat's a little delayed. That way I can do labels in this space here and here. Oop. Oh. Material. Just so these stand out a little bit easier. Change the color on these. There. Just so you can get an idea of what the buttons are going to look like. So I need to go from the top of the button down 7. There. So this is be where the main button is, the actual part you press down on, the red part, and then the lip. GG's back. And this... I'm using a lot of keyboard shortcuts, by the way. It's probably 22, 20, 3, 4, 5. It only needs to be like 5 mil thick because this plastic's pretty rigid and it's a pretty small box. Something like that will be for the top. Then I can do engraved labels or something up here, or actually print out a label. I haven't figured out that part yet. Let's see here. So I think the next part is like working on the front. See, I'll do this. I'm actually gonna cut these holes out. So I'm gonna copy these, paste those, subtract all of this. So now this is the top plate with the holes cut out. Pika. Now I can copy all this. And I'm going to keep these the way they are for now, just so I know how deep they're going to be. Let's see. Because I need room for a breadboard in here somewhere. Let's go up 10. Do like a 15-degree. Then that'll give you the room for your nice like wrist angle if it's on your desk or on your table or something like that. And that's how mine is, and I really like it. Just back this up just a second. Gonna back it up. I think that'll be enough room to get a breadboard in there. Especially if I do an angle like this one. That should be enough. What am I going to use when Revlo shuts down? I have no idea, man. I might have to figure out how to code it into Inkbot. If you have any ideas for suggestions, anybody, I am all ears. Let's see. Let's drop that there. So pretty much, I'm just using basic shapes and just kind of crafting them to what I need. And just like tweaking and stuff. So it's not anything like of note, really. So I learned basic 3D modeling in college, and I'm just kind of adapted what I've learned from that. Something in there for now. And we'll make, 'cause I think the walls and the top and the bottom only need to be like 5 mil thick. I think that's what mine is, and it's very, very sturdy. I'm not too worried about like the rounded edges or anything yet. I'll go back and clean everything up once it's in place. Cool. So I'm basically using this block right here to trim a little bit off of this one. So now it's nice and flush there. So you can see I just trimmed this little corner off. So now the angles will match up perfectly. Cool. Getting there. Won't the buttons have to be longer because of the angle? Nope. So the buttons are going to be the static length here. That's how long that's the longest they're going to be. They're always going to be bolt or screwed onto here, so I'll have more space here than up here. So they won't have to be longer. I could put bigger, longer buttons in here if I wanted to, but since I'm using just the 8 of the same buttons, I'm going to have more space here, and I think that should be enough. I actually need to measure a breadboard. That's what I need. Where's the breadboard? There's my breadboard. I need to measure my breadboard with, so the breadboard depth is 10 mil. Let me do that. Let me do a breadboard, just so I know how big it is. 10 mil. Where are my little breadboards? Okay, there's my little breadboard. So it's 10 mil by 10 mil thick, 35 wide. So this is 20. 35 wide by 47. And then with a teensy on it, it becomes 17 thick. So really that's the space that I need for a breadboard. You think Battleground server shut down? That sucks. I'd say this is like, the teensy's only going to be this itty bitty little part. So, I don't need this whole gigantic chunk, but, you know, it's better to over prepare. So what I can do, if I take then that's going to give me plenty of room to sneak this in here. Because then the teensy will be mounted in here, and then I won't really need this space. Yeah, that should be plenty of room. Because even this 5 mil up of this is the leads, so I can even trim this down. But I'm not using very accurate button shapes, so I'm not too worried about it. That should be fine. So let's do another box here. So this will be the back. Again, we'll trim it down because this box is by default a 20 by 20 by 20. So I know that just because I've worked with this program a lot. Trim it down 15, which will make it a 5 width. Go to back. Boop. There we go. Now we have back. And then again, I can do the same thing here to trim off this lip. As I did earlier. Actually, have enough room here? I don't think so. Forgot about the nuts. There. Now that should be plenty of room for the nuts on it. Alright, now what I can do is add another box here. And this one again is just going to be used to cut, come on, there we go, to cut this little lip off of this one. That should be all I need, yep. No box, that's not what I wanted you to do. Subtract, boop. There we go. So now I trimmed this itty bitty little lip off so that matches up. It says connection closed. I don't know. Never played with Battlegrounds. Wouldn't know the first thing to tell you. Did you try turning it off and turn it back on again? That's all I can help you with. So this isn't a very accurate breadboard with teensy on it, but I feel pretty confident that I'll have enough room in there. I say that now. And if need be, I can always just solder straight to the teensy board instead of using a breadboard, since it's only 8 buttons, and I might do that instead. And then this up here, this blank space above the teensy will be where the USB will go. And I'm still waiting for that. That should be here this week, so I'll be able to do that maybe next weekend. I can show you guys doing that. Right. Now we need sides. I'm just making everything flush right now. I might do some funky designs on it later. And again, so if everything doesn't like flush up nicely, I can fudge with it later. It's a little too far.
Let's go.
There we go. And I'm gonna use the same technique here to just trim the extra off.